Alright, just a little documentation video. Today is the 19th of December, 2024. I haven't had a guitar of my own in probably 4 months now, just about right around there. My nose needs a little bit of cleaning out. It's cold out here, my nose is dripping, I get it. But I just got this little guy. It's, well, look, I'll just show this tag. That's what I got. These cool people just up here. Drove about 40 minutes from where I currently live, and got this little thing. It's used, has a little bit of repair work on the bottom of it, but it's in great condition and super cute, super fun. It's gonna be so great. So I gotta do a little bit to the saddle, and that might be all that I do. I mean, I'll adjust the stringing a little bit. I got a certain stringing technique that I use, but other than that, this thing's ready to rip, and I'm so excited. So a little bit of documentation there. Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great. This morning, actually, I woke up and it was like 9 a.m. and I was like, I'm awake. And normally I'm not up that early. It's not early to a lot of people, but to me, And I was like, I know that I'm supposed to be awake, but what am I supposed to do? And I was like thinking of things like maybe I should be doing or whatever, and it didn't feel right to go do anything, but then I also didn't feel like I needed to just like do nothing, but I knew I needed to do something. Meaning, like, I had been looking at guitars on this site where I purchase things used. It's like a local used, thing. And the past few days I've been checking it, and I've been looking like kind of hourly the past day or two, and this was on an ad that had actually been on there for about 12 days. And I don't know if I overlooked the ad or if I just saw it and didn't really care to check into it or what, but it had been posted for a while. And I looked at it, I was like, man, all right. I just felt so right about like looking at it closer. And it has a spruce top, which is something I've stayed away from because I've had this, idea that spruce is just too bright. This thing's actually pretty warm sounding. And anyway, my mom just gave me the money because it's the date that I said, and Christmas is coming up, and she was gonna give me a little bit of other money for something else anyway for Christmas. And so this ended up being this instead. And so now I have this, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. So I think you can see it hits me. I think a big thing is just being obedient and just having faith, because I also didn't let them know I was coming. It's at a house here, but it's actually like their business as well with music. So I called, they didn't answer, but I'm just like, I'm gonna go up there. We'll just show up. It'll work out. And it just worked out. So, okay, I'm excited. Yeah. In the Image Clothing Company music. Stick around, check it out. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. This little guy, man, it's gonna be a really, really good thing to have. It hits me, man. Yeah. You're able to see the it's gonna be so great. A lot of learning, man. This is gonna be my 20th guitar that I have personally owned, and it is a half-sized nylon string. There's like a little bit of radius within the fretboard already. Within the frets, I'm not gonna touch them. I always say flat fretboards are so damaging to the hand, and they are, and then traveling through the whole body. But there's actually the slightest bit of radius already there within the frets, even though it's like technically a flat fretboard, right? It's a classical guitar. it has a little bit of rounding to it to where it's enough. You know, you just don't want to be doing, especially like a bar chord, you know, you want to be kind of into the range of motion of your finger. This is going to accommodate for that. The saddle's on a little bit of an angle. I don't want to make these people think I'm trying to do something weird in front of their place. I don't know why they would think that, but saddle's on an angle. I'm going to flatten that out. But the saddle has like a slight rounding at the top of it. I think it might be enough to not even mess with, man. Like I'm saying with the frets too. They're just, I mean, I would call that radiused. It says it's flat. Like I looked up the specs of it and it says flat, but no, I would call that radius. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but we'll try it. No, I think you can see. You see that? Like, just look at like the lowest frets right next to the sound hole is what I'm kind of just showing because that's where the light is anyway. They're rounded. There's a little bit of rounding there, man. So anyway, I'll show that little bit of damage it's got on the bottom just because this is my first time with it, man. I mean, this is my first, 10 minutes with it. So a little bit of damage there on the bottom. It's had a little bit of repair, but it's beautiful, cute, beautiful, beautifully cute, and great. And so yeah, shout out to Yamaha. My first Yamaha that I've owned, actually it is. So anyway, thank you. Like I said, 19th of December 2024, big things to come with music. That's not me just saying something, but I know through revelation, I know. So I'm excited. Okay, thank you. My name is Evan Strong. I know I said that, but my nose is dripping. I know I addressed that, but it's cute. Oh, I'll mention it's got spruce top. The back it's a wood that's kind of like mahogany, but it starts with an M. I've never had that wood on a guitar as far as I'm aware either. It's like a type of mahogany or something. So just kind of, for reference, but also you got the, you got the number of it in there so you can know, but super cute, man. So great. Comfortable little thing, man. Comfortable. I was saying just yesterday within a video I made, I was like, yeah, and I've been saying this, like, if I never get another guitar, all right. But, like, I know I'm going to, just because, like, there's certain things that we don't plan. I mean, we don't plan anything. Everything is out of our hands. Everything is. But there's certain things that we're allowed to know, even if we don't exactly know why or how, well, especially how. Oh, it's so pretty. It's dark. It's spruce. I'm not gonna show it again just because it's kind of awkward in the car. But you'll see it if you see content from me. I'm gonna be playing it. But the top is dark because that's the thing. When I first looked at the ad this morning, I thought it was cedar. I just kind of assumed it was because the color, it's dark, but it's apparently spruce, and it's spruce. I mean, I can tell with the grain. I can now. Spruce really has you can tell if you've seen enough guitars, you can tell, or just the wood itself. It's not about the guitar, but, normally those are two of the most common wood top material is spruce and cedar. And I can tell now looking at it by the grain that it's spruce, but the color is dark. And a lot of times spruce will age and get quite a bit darker as it does, but I don't think this is old enough to like age. I don't know. It doesn't matter how old or new it is. It's great. The glue's good, under the bridge where the neck meets the body. It's gonna be so great. I love it because it's just what I need. It's not some super crazy high-end guitar, super expensive. It's going to be fine in the weather. It's the size that I need. It sounds warm. It sounds warm. It does. It's shocking. I'll strum through it. It's out of tune, but I'm going to strum through it once. I just barely plucked it, lightly, but it's warm sounding. It's going to be so cool. I actually think the saddle's bone. It might not be. I'm looking at the nut right there, but I think it is. It's like bright white, and you don't really get that with synthetic saddle material. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. Like I'm saying with all this. Oh, also it has a compensated saddle for that G. That's something in itself. I mean, I've done stringing techniques to where I've wrapped that G string less times or even just one time around, and then the other strings a couple times to put less tension on that G because, you know, to keep it level, but it has a compensated saddle. It's a compensated saddle. So I'm not going to mess with the top of the saddle. I'm just going to level it out. We'll get as you saw, the low E is much higher. I want it even. The human body wants it even from E to E all the way up and an even radius all the way down. I might do a little bit with the groove of this G in the nut slot. It's sticking up, but that just happens because the G is the thickest string and the nuts sometimes aren't accommodating for that, and this one isn't. So I'll probably put a little bit of depth into that nut slot where the G is at. I might do some to the nut too, kind of reducing that steepness of that angle. I've talked about that. I like the nut slots to not be coming up on such a sharp angle and then like over the fretboard. I like it to be very gradual, so that especially when you're doing hammer-ons and doing, fretting notes really close to the nut, you're not having to like push so hard. I'll probably do some stuff with the nut, and that's probably it. There's no truss rod in it. It's just, I mean, yep, 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 yep. It's great. It's so good for what I need. It's what I need. So there we go. It's pretty. I love that it's dark colored. It's so pretty. All right. I'm so excited. Okay. Cool. Man. Yeah. That's all I'm going to be needing to do to it. Even out the saddle, address the nut slots, and then I'll just mess with the stringing technique a little bit, just because I'm really particular about the strings, because that's really going to either help or hinder your playing, is the way that it's strung. So, gosh, so grateful, man. Sitting here looking at this thing. It's in the passenger seat right here, and it's just like, it's a half-sized guitar. It's nice and small, but like the right size for pretty much all adults. It's great. And the strings are like, they're going to be something that can last for quite a while. I don't need to throw new strings on it yet. They don't really look like they've been used at all. I don't know what kind they are, but they're just going to be great. Just right as it is. A couple things I'll do to it, but those things just have to be done. I just mean, like, as far as addressing anything with it, otherwise, it's ready to go, man. You can see how I'm feeling about it. Yamaha. All right. I had a motorcycle that was a Yamaha YZ250F. Now I have a guitar that's a Yamaha. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get really, right into this today. I'm gonna take it home right when I get home. Well, I don't know about right when I get home, but today we're gonna do little adjustments it needs, and it's gonna be so great. All right. 20th guitar. The reason I had 19 before this was only just to figure out what I needed in guitars. And now I know. And it's this. So I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Yeah. Yep. As well as what I was saying about kind of lessening the steepness of those nut slots, I'm going to also just kind of put a radius into the nut through the slots. The outer strings I'll put a little deeper than the inner ones. And then, what we do with that G to kind of just keep it even with the rounding to, what we do. And yeah, I'm so glad to see that there is that very slight radius within all the frets, because I was planning on just, radiusing the whole fretboard, but that would take away a little bit of that like crowning to the frets. Unless you have an actual tool that does it, I was just gonna do it with whatever, what I found to do it with, and it wouldn't have been like quite the same type of like peak to the frets, and so that's gonna be awesome. So, because actually as it is, the nut angle is kind of going along with the saddle angle, how it's coming up higher toward the low E than the high. I mean, that's fine as far as, manufacturing it that way, but it's not fine on the hand. So, I don't know. My nose, dude, is dripping. Okay. Yeah. All right. So grateful. Yeah. Man. Okay. Being given stuff like this, man, is crazy. Being obedient is really the important thing, Not knowing how something's going to work out, but then it just does. I'm really excited. She said, "Merry Christmas." She's like, "Is this an early Christmas present for yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." I mean, really, it's from my mom, but as far as like me picking it up for, yeah, like, yeah, really sweet. Merry Christmas, to everybody else. As far as anybody who's seeing this, I say all the time, really every day's Christmas, because all Christmas is, not all as in like, but what Christmas really is the anniversary that we celebrate when our God was born onto this earth. And so, Merry Christmas. Thank you.